Deana Lippens, who had a great idea years ago in 1996, put on the first women's tattoo convention held in Orlando, Florida. Now, back in the day, it was really hard for us all to find out about it because it was not a lot of computer action going on, and the way we communicate now, cell phones were not a thing. But we did communicate and get enough women there to have a very nice convention, which I honest to God, I can't remember if I was at the first one, but I know I was at the second one and a whole bunch of them after that. And I met Deana at the women's show in Orlando. She put it on, started the whole concept.
I met you before that.
Right, well, she met me before
96
was
was the first one.
Mark for life.
I was going to a couple of tattoo conventions, and one that I went to decided that to move me from the front to the back because he had a guy that was coming from Australia, and so I was talking to a couple friends and decided that I thought that women should get more recognition or whatever, that I was as important as that guy. And so I said, what do you think if we do this, to a couple people at the bar? Tony Olibas was there, and he said, if you do it, I'll come. And I said, okay, I guess I'm gonna do it.
So she's here in New Smyrna Beach this weekend and having this like a get together. She's no longer tattooing. A couple of elders are here. We want to tell our stories.
We invited like 30 people, like crash in our room.
That's for sure.
Which is a dying art, which is a dying thing. So several women have shown up. We're expecting one other important lady, Jacci Gresham, to show up later from New Orleans. Deana was a tattoo artist from Christmas, Florida. And she put these conventions on for about 19, 20 years, I think. We've stayed in contact over the years. She supported me. We've supported each other through love of just the women's community. We want to continue this legacy somehow. We're documenting some of this weekend, and I think it's a good idea. These are dying things that we think that are important not to lose some of the history of the female part of tattooing. She called me up. She was talking about it. And I was like, well, that's a great idea, put it out to the women's community, see who'll come, see who can come. We're all getting up there. I'm 70, they were all getting up there in age. We expected, a little bit bigger outcome, but for the people who did not come, you're missing something sweet because it's very endearing. Deana puts her whole heart and soul into every little project that she puts on, and that's why I've always supported her. We have a different sort of intimacy about our female part of tattooing because we were a close-knit bunch back in the day, and now the female industry has really gotten quite large. As a matter of fact, we were just talking to our yoga instructor, Mark Longnecker, who I've known forever, came and taught a yoga class for us today, which was awesome. And we were talking about, he has a mostly female tattoo shop now, and I've heard that a lot. Just got back from Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Jacksonville, Florida area, which my studio is at in St. Augustine, Florida. Miss Deborah's Fountain of Youth Tattoo. Might as well put a plug in there while I'm at it. And anyway, I've been in the business since 1981. I've known some of these ladies that are stepping in. Hopefully she'll be here tomorrow, Jackie. For my whole career, I actually cut my teeth, did like my third tattoo in her shop in New Orleans, Louisiana, back in 1982. So we go back. We have good stories to tell. Peggi Hurley is here. She's also one of our old timers, good friends with Gil Monty. Got a big history behind her, which I'm sure she'll get a nice interview later on her. We could really find out some awesome facts.
I apprenticed with Gil Monty. After that, I have to say that probably nobody would even know who I was today had it not been for the tattoo magazines. That was our internet back in the day. Mm-hmm. And they went everywhere, and from winning that Best Tattoo Female, my picture was all over the damn place, and it was wonderful. I had such a good time doing things like that. And then My ex-husband wanted to apprentice with Gil, and I just put my foot down and said, no way. He's taken both of us. So I was the only woman that Gil ever really apprenticed officially. So that was kind of cool. Miss Jacci Gresham here.
The reason that I think I got into tattooing and stayed in it is women were so abused in this industry. I mean, talking about the clientele, because the guys would, the girl would want a tattoo on her wrist, but they'd make them take their shirts off, you know,
Right.
stuff like that. And I came from up north, and we just didn't do that up north, you know.
They didn't do it down south either, girl.
Well, they did it in New Orleans.
Well, they didn't.
Tattoo their butt,
It
they
was
put the
frowned- it
ointment
was
in the
frowned
crack.
upon,
And they
It
take
should've
it out of
been
the crack of
frowned
your
upon.
butt, take your shirt off.
Get something on your wrist, take your pants off.
Yeah, stuff like that happened. And so that's how I really got into it.
We're having a little contest of the funniest tattoo story that's ever happened to us in our career, which is going to be hilarious. I hope I win. I've got a really good one.
This is young GI, and it was his first tattoo, and he wanted this huge, like, tribal eagle across his back, right? College kid. So, literally halfway through it, he tells me he needs to go to the bathroom. So I said, okay. I was like, well, maybe he actually really needs to go to the bathroom. So I tell him, I was like, okay, I can't let you run into the public restroom just like this. I was like, I'm not going to take the time to go dig out my dry locks. I was like, we'll just get a little paper towel up there for you, put your sleeve over it, and just come back, you know, as quickly as you can. Okay. So as I'm leaning to go get my fucking tape, this bitch is like, I need a garbage. And bring it around and just projectile vomit it fucking everywhere. Everywhere. And I was like, and I got velvet fucking pants on and shit. And I'm just like sitting there like, motherfucker.
Within a minute, she like passed out, and usually be like tapping them in the face, calling their name, you know, hey, get up, and they weren't getting up. So you told George to grab some water, and as he was coming over, she was still out, but she started to pee herself. So George took the water and kind of splashed her in the face to wake her up. But also, as soon as she got up, she's like, "Oh, what happened?" Like, you're like, "You're good. Like, you know, you just passed out. It's okay." So now, fast forward, I was working at a shop in Plymouth before we opened our own studio, and I'm tattooing this guy, and it's the same thing. It was right on his arm. I'm tattooing, and I'm seeing him like I'm talking to him, and he just like he ain't in the conversation anymore. And then I look up and I see that like mustardy green tone come over his face. I'm like, "Oh shit, man!" So I put my my machine down, and I'm like already starting to smack him in the face. Hey, brother, wake up! And he's not coming to. So I go over to the the counter, and I got a cup of water there. And same thing. I think he might have been starting to fucking like let loose or whatever. So I fucking went to turn and just a splash in his face. But as I was turning, he was waking back up, and his mouth was wide open. And the guy's like, oh! I was like choking shit. So it didn't quite go the way that. But I remember it. It was a little different. And then of course all the guys in the shop were like, "Dude, you're a barbarian, man. Just fucking choke people awake from falling asleep. Just get some salts, man. Get some salts."
She planned a few little events for us today. Like, we just got back from bingo. We had a yoga class this morning. We just got back from bingo. Tomorrow we're going to have a lovely meet and greet in my room here. And we're going to interview some of the ladies and tell some stories and look at some photos and just kind of bond a little bit. You know, I think it's a good idea.
The sacrifice is like the hours we had to put in.
Very uncommon for girls to have sleeves. I mean, you just didn't be that visible. I mean, that was just silly. But anyway, I did it anyhow. And then all these rumors started with, oh, what's in these pigments? What the hell is he mixing it with? And somebody said, oh, there's plastic elements in it. And I don't know if that's true or not. But they still got color. They still hold color. And they were done in the 80s. So I would walk around going, my arms are plastic. My arms are plastic.
It's the dispersing agents that cause it to be able to be safer to go into human flesh.
Yeah.
Because they stay stationary.
I'm gonna stop that.
Really? We'll get it. We'll get it.
We made some things which we're gonna try to sell. Not only get some of this stuff, but pass it down to the next generation. The next generation is whoever is left when I'm gone. My studio is my son and daughter-in-law. They'll keep it a tattoo shop. So there'll be people lined up, I'm sure, that hopefully will appreciate it. If not, I hope it's passed on and gone to the right place. Everybody's getting one of these beautiful little posters that was designed, believe it or not, by Can Man. This is the very first one, 1996. I was really happy to get one. I'm going to frame it, hang it in my shop. It's going to be, a sweet little artifact one day. It's a nice little print. But everybody got them back in the day, and we used to sign them all. So this is the thing that touched my heart. This is Elaine Angel. She wrote the Piercing Bible. She's apprenticed under fake hair back in the old school piercing days and body mod days. So she is a very lovely human that I've stayed in contact with. I'm going to take a picture of this and send it to her and show her that I bought this for my body piercing room. It's going to be a gift to my body piercers, and it is very special. It's before it was even popular. These piercings were not common back in our day. Tongue piercings, forehead piercings. She had cheek piercings, oversized gauged ears. Very advanced for the times. But I would follow her around, loved her so much. We became friends just by bonding in different conventions and stuff, and kept in touch over the years. So I love her a lot. Bob Shaw. If you don't know who Bob Shaw is, you need to look them up. These are our historians. Bob and I bonded, I guess, at a tattoo convention. He was a West Coast boy. He was very full of information, but I didn't get to speak with him a whole lot. I didn't really get to know him. I did get to go out drinking with him one night, and very interesting guy, very fun night. Loved him a lot. Always kind, gentleman, as much as he could be back in the day. They also had their wild sides. They had to. These guys were road pavers for not only us women, for everybody in the industry. These were we called them our old timers, that they would show up at conventions and tell story after story of amazing days when they were coming in, which was the 30s and 40s. So they've got had interesting stories to tell us. So these were the guys before us. So of course I had to have Bob Shaw's portrait for my shop, and also Deana gave me to go with it the Memory Bob Shaw book, which I did not have, which I'm so honored to get. They don't make these anymore. In memory of. He was a very interesting man. Enigma. This man is an awesome, beautiful man, beautiful soul. We go back because I met Enigma doing the Jim Rose sideshow. We'll always start my good stories with back in my drinking days. But back in my drinking days, the Jim Rose sideshow came to, I think it was Jacksonville. And we kidnapped him, kind of by force and kind of by... But he came to my shop at about 5:30 in the morning. We were all pretty up there. But I ended up doing a puzzle piece on him. He ended up doing, one on me. I had to have that. And he signed it, the Enigma. So that's so when I tell my puzzle piece story now, I'll actually have a guy picture. I do have pictures of us, but I'll be able to put him with this one. So Enigma, I love you. Thank you. I miss you. Last time I saw you was in New York, probably in the early 2000s. But I hope to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I bought your picture from Deana to have a memory of you in my shop. And then Deana gave me this. It was Jack Armstrong. This guy was in his 70s, 8, I think. She told me the story of him at tattoo convention, sitting there building machines and working at tattoo conventions up into his 70s, 80s. They all did. Philadelphia Eddie, they all did. Went as long as they could. Lyle Tuttle, Paul Rogers. These guys, Jack Armstrong, These were our path pavers. I like to honor them by having them in my shop so people will ask questions about them. I always remembered him at the tattoo conventions. He stood out like a sore thumb. He looked like he had just gotten off of a farm herding some cattle. But I loved him. He was such a character, and he didn't care about the glory, didn't care about the glitz. He was Jack Armstrong. He didn't have to. He built machines. He was a cool guy, and he was authentic as they could get. So, Jack, Heavenly Jack, I got this for you to put in my studio to carry on your legacy. Saw these and I started crying. Okay, so Spiderweb, about 9/11. Spiderweb was also a very unique character. When I first started, he scared me. There was a picture of him in a magazine, I have it somewhere, of him tattooing a lady's chest. I think it was with a rose thorn, and blood was running down her chest, and he looked like a vampire. And I think he might have even had vampire teeth. And he had long hair, and looked like a vampire, and he scared me. But later on, I got to know him, went to New York. He was a very interesting character. I think he was way before his time. He is part of New York City's tattoo history, underground and overground, and the planets beyond. And I had some awesome visit with him at one time. And Spider, I'm getting this for you. I hope to God you're still alive. I think you are. I'm gonna have to see. But I bought this because, you know, I was in New York City during 9/11. I woke up to it. I lived in it. It changed my life profoundly. And I cried when I saw your drawings. It just brought back so many of our local our artists jumping in, doing murals and street paintings, photographs I did during 9/11. In these kinds of things, these very private gatherings which happen outside of tattooing, we learn a lot about each other. We learn a lot about history. We learn a lot about where we all came from.
I've already had this idea set in my head that, like, as soon as I turned 18, I was gonna get tattooed, and I was gonna get a lot of tattoos. I decided that, I don't know, 15 or 16.
It was gonna happen, yeah.
It was gonna happen. But anyway, so she goes and she gets her fucking tattoo first, and she comes back and she's like, "Oh, Brittany, it hurt too much. I couldn't do it." And I was like, "For real?"
Then you started after that. Did you just start getting more after that too? Or did
Oh
you
yeah,
start
I was hooked.
Yeah.
Both of you just went like,
We went, yeah.
all right, so,
'Cause
and you started in Fayetteville?
We started in Okeechobee, Florida.
He reaches out to us for like the first time ever, and we'd always kind of craved a relationship with him and everything. And he's like, "Yeah, I have a tattoo shop, and I can teach you girls to tattoo, and it can be this family business and this whole thing." And you know, he was like, I always wanted to be there for you girls when
What's his
you were
name?
growing." Brian Brewer. But yeah.
And what did your mom do? Was she supportive of that, or was she freaking out? Or what?
She knew more about him than we did, so she was terrified for us to go.
She wasn't happy. It was one of those things where we were gonna do what we were gonna do, you know, and she was kind of tried to talk us out of it a little bit, you know. It was
sure it
pretty
was
tough.
tough.
We learned a lot of things.
But a lot of ladies didn't make it. I'm sorry they didn't. I wish you next time, if we do this again, which I have a funny bone feeling it might happen next year as well. I'm going to prompt Deana into it. We're going to try to make it a thing. Because I am having a really sweet time, a really precious time, and it's going to get even preciouser as the day goes by and the week goes by. It's till Friday, and the last day will be very powerful and endearing. It'll be a really sweet potluck dinner. We're going to throw all our leftovers together and get together and have a nice goodbye, and we'll know some of these ladies a little bit deeper and more profound. I hope you enjoy whatever we're doing and you learn something from it. And that's it for today.